Hey guys, Boris, awesome BK Forex. Welcome to our Forex Daily Technicals for 12/13/13. As always, trading foreign exchange and margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for all investors. I ask you to read this disclaimer very carefully to understand all the risks associated with trading on margin and to seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Well, a very, very interesting day today. Euro sort of came off the 38s and looks like it seems to be having a little bit, at least a consolidation, if not a complete turn away from the 38, which is essentially a double top formation, against which has been it's been really having a struggle to try to climb up against it. But even as we speak right now into the Asia session, the yen is really starting to challenge its yearly highs. If we go back to, if I zoom out here, you can see that we're right there. The yearly highs around 103.67. We pretty much were around 103.61, 62 in very early Asia, and it feels like they really want to gun it through these levels, having basically taken out this 103.30 level, which we saw twice rejected earlier, and now kind of getting lifted. So the power move in the dollar yen could really take us all the way to 104s now if they can clear the yearly highs here at 103.65 with a little bit of momentum, because when these levels get taken out, usually you're going to have a lot of stop running behind it. So yen looks to be the most powerful move here in the early Asian session. It could set the the tone for the rest of the session as we go forward. This also takes us into the euro yen, which yesterday we were looking at as another potential trade that is now starting to climb back up towards the new fresh annual highs, but really not towards the 43, 44 level as dollar yen continues to climb. Dollar yen really is going to be the story. If dollar yen can clear this 103.65 level, 103, basically dollar yen goes to 103.75, 104 really comes very strongly into view, as you're going to get tremendous amount of short covering and late buying against it. So it's probably going to be the most interesting story of the night, except for perhaps this story, which is the Aussie, which has just got pummeled yesterday off a whole bunch of stuff. We had initially relatively decent Australian employment data, but it wasn't enough to hold the 90 level. 90 level was protected very, very strongly with $2 billion worth of optionality against it. Once that was given, it just crushed. It just basically tumbled all the way down. Today, very, very early in Asia, we tried to test 89s. We came to about 89.12. Still very much an open trade, and if 89s are given, then the final test here of 88.50 becomes really into view. And if 88.50 is given, then we're really, I think, on our way towards an 87 test. That would be a very, very, very serious decline for the Aussie in such a short period of time. But the fact that the central bank really wants to see it at 85, really putting tremendous amount of pressure on the Aussie to the downside. This, of course, also flips around the Aussie crosses and puts the Euro Aussie. At this point, you really don't even have to do anything on the Euro side except just stand still to watch Euro Aussie climb ever higher. With 54 was a level of resistance a little bit earlier today. Seems to be that's the sticking point. But generally, the move in Euro Aussie could, given the fact that we're now so close to 55, really push us towards that level. If we get basically if Aussie takes out 89s, it looks like we're going to want to try and run the 55s in the Euro Aussie. Still a very powerful move, and these vertical moves tend to have some juice behind them usually. So when you go parabolic, one of the last things you kind of want to do is fade the move just yet. Pound dollar, probably the least interesting of all the trades, kind of just hanging out here very quietly. 63 is support, holding 63. We held support today at 63. We'll see how it trades out for the rest of the night, but it's just really to the sidelines and acting pretty much more on the crosses than it is on the major, as it's not doing much. 63 is given though in the pound. This is a pretty serious level of support here. It's basically 62.75. We're taking out that level. That really puts in a much steeper top here and puts us towards a path of 62 possibly as a move to the downside. But otherwise, pound is definitely the least interesting of everything that we're looking at right now. Last thing, Aussie Kiwi, of course, also just a monster move to the downside. We tested 108s, bounced back a little bit. This may be one of the things that's giving Aussie a little bit of a bounce back. But still, the second test of the 108s could be the magical one where we break that, takes us right back down to 107.5. That is a fall from 110 just a couple days ago, so it's a really, really massive fall as Aussie continues to be liquidated. Kiwi continues to be acquired on the assumption that interest rate differentials between the two countries are going to get expanded, not contracted. So back to the main story of the night, which is yen. Let's just take a look at where we're at before we go out. We are certainly picking up steam here, 54, 55 bid. As I said, 65 bid is the high of the year, and 75 bid essentially puts us on path towards 104. That's the trade of the day today, I think. That's what everybody's going to be looking at. Let's see how it plays out. Wishing you guys the best of luck and the best of trading. Boris Schlossberg over and out.